Hi there, guys. Happy New Year. I'm Leslie Diane, and I'm going to do a quick little video for those of you maybe who have the goal of learning how to play guitar this coming year. Get you off to a great start right away with things that sound good but that are straightforward so that you don't get all tangled up and confused and messed up. I'm going to quit talking for a second. I'm going to play something for you. You'll know right away if this sounds like something that you'd like to be able to do or not. And if not, you can go enjoy some other of the stuff on YouTube. But here's what we're about tonight. We're doing this. That's what we're about. If you like that sound, stick around. I'm going to show you how to do it. Otherwise, I hope that you have a great rest of your first day of 2022. So anyway, those of you who are hanging out, here's what we're doing. This is part of an approach that I use that I call flipped guitar. Okay, we're starting higher up, where the frets are closer together, so you don't have these monstrous stretches that you have to deal with right off the bat, okay? Also, you have 4 fingers. We're only going to use 2. If you've not played the guitar before, then you will quickly find out that it doesn't feel real good to put your tender fingertips down on steel strings, right? Okay, it's easier on an electric guitar. It's not terrible on acoustic, but for a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, if you do your practicing, it only takes a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks to get that taken care of. But we're only going to do 2, so you'll have 2 fingers that aren't hurting, okay? These 2 are going to be a little bit ouchy at first. I call this the side-by-side fingers because a lot of the times these can work. Look at this. They move almost like they were one finger on some of the chords that you do like this. Watch those 2 fingers, okay? This is a G chord, C chord, F, C, and G. And those fingers in each case just moved over. It's almost like you're moving one finger. It's a cool thing to be alert to. So we're using the side-by-side fingers. And we're going up here. See how close together these frets are? There's not a whole lot of room for things to go wrong. This is why I've started teaching people up here. Now, let me demonstrate this for you. If you have tried to play and you get sounds like this. That's very common. Don't feel bad. See how far apart those frets are? If you don't know that you should be right behind the fret when it's possible, then, you know, you might drift back because there's room to drift back. And if you do, you get this buzzing sound, which is not very nice. You can overcome it with extra pressure, but that sets up habits of tension in your playing that are not going to help you. What we're going to do is we're going to go up here where it's easy, or I'll say easier, because if you haven't played before, it's not going to feel easy because your fingertips are going to be hurting. Don't worry about it. It doesn't last so long. Hang in there and you will get it. You will totally get it. So anyway, here's where we are. We're up here at the 9th fret. What are you going to do when I say 9th fret? Do you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, don't do that because that takes too long and then the song is over. Look up here where you have 2 dots. That only happens 1 time on your guitar at the 12th fret. A quick way of finding your way around the guitar is use these. These dots are called position markers, and they help you find your way around. If you look here where the 12th fret is, this fret here, where you have your next position marker, is the 9th fret. That's where we're going to start. So that's a lot quicker than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, don't do that. Just here's your double dots. By the way, they're usually along the side of your neck too, not just in the front. I mention that because sometimes people who are new to guitar, they want to see everything, and they'll get a bad habit of tilting their guitar like that, which makes bad problems for your technique. This information here is in miniature along the side of your neck. Use that, it'll help you. Here we go. Side by side fingers, and we're going to these strings in the middle. If you don't know the names of the strings yet, that's okay. We're not going to slow ourselves down bothering with that. These are the 2 strings in the middle, the ones that I'm, moving around here. So those are the strings that we're going to use. You're going to put your middle finger on this string and your ring finger beside it. Side by side fingers at the 9th fret, like we talked about. I'm going to show you the left hand because this is so cool. You only have to worry about this one shape. This is all. I want to start you hearing yourself making musical sounds right away, because that can help you know early that you can do it and that it's worth doing, that you'll be able to get it. So we take this shape. I'm just going to play those 2 notes. You're listening for clarity. Now, more likely, you'll probably get something like this unless your fingertips are already toughened up. You probably get, you need to press harder. It's not going to feel comfortable, but it doesn't last long. Do it. Just go ahead and do it. So here we are at the 9th fret, and that sounds pretty clear. So when you're able to get that, just go back to your next position marker. That's at the 7th fret. And check to see if you've got clear sound. Oops, sorry. That wasn't a very good note. Anyway, if you're getting sound like this, no worries. That's a common thing. But look where my fingers are. There's room for me to slide them up. These bars that go across, if you don't know this already, they're called frets. You want to get close behind the fret because you don't have to press as hard when you get close behind the fret. Now, you can't put both these fingers right behind the fret, or look what happens to your hand. Not good. But one finger can get right behind the fret, and this next one can just tuck up next to the other finger. And that'll put this finger sort of in the middle of that fret space, and you should be fine. Okay, that means you won't have to press too awfully hard to get clear sound. You probably feel like you're pressing hard. You only want enough tension, enough pressure there to get clear sound. Once you've got clear sound, that's enough. You don't need to dig in. That's going to make your hand tense and cause problems. So just enough pressure till your sound clears up. Listen to it when it's not clear. And I'm just going to add a little bit of pressure. And it clears right up. It takes a little practice, so don't be discouraged. If it doesn't come at once, it probably won't. But it doesn't take terribly long, so work at it. So we went from the 9th fret to the 7th fret, and now we're going to go back to the 5th fret. There we are. And then we're going to do the same thing. We've only used one shape for the left hand. Only one shape. Now we're going to go back here. Notice something different. We don't have a dot. We don't have a position marker here. This is at the 4th fret. Everywhere else, we've had a position marker. So when you're at the 5th fret, you're just going to slide back one. As you get lower down here, you're going to have more space. So remember, don't let yourself drift back and wind up with sound like that. Okay? If you do, no big deal. Just move it back up. You don't want to be on top of the fret. You want to be right behind it. There. That's your left hand. That's it. So let's take a look what we're doing with the right hand. And now that you know what we're doing with the left hand, I'm going to take it out of the shot so I can show you a different angle with the right hand. What you're going to be learning here right away is called Travis picking. Travis picking, let me just show you. I'm only going to be here on the 9th fret for right now. Travis picking is distinguished by the alternating thumb. See that? The thumb is going back and forth. When I teach this, I teach it in 2 tiny parts so that you don't get overwhelmed. They're just 2 tiny little micro bits. We're going to pretend like we don't have this string and this string. This is the low E and this is the A. We're going to pretend like they don't exist. We're going to just hop over here with our thumb on the D string. And we're going to use the thumb and 2 fingers. The middle finger is assigned to the high E string. That's the skinniest string, the one closest to the floor. And your first finger goes over here to the B string, which is the neighboring string. And the thumb is going to be going back and forth between the D string and the G string. Now I'm going to just play it so you can hear what it sounds like without all these words. Now, let's just break this down and make it as straightforward as we can. Here's part 1. You're going to go thumb, middle, thumb, middle. Okay? Now, sometimes I'll teach students outside, inside, outside, inside. If you notice what I'm doing, part 1 is the outside bit of the strings we're using. Part 2 is the inside part of the strings that we're using. Outside, inside, outside, inside. Up to speed, well, not up to speed. We don't have a particular goal in our mind with speed. What you want is not speed. What you want is accuracy. Don't go any faster than you can feel really in control of what you're doing. There's no hurry. But I'm going to play it a little bit faster so you can get more of a feeling of a flow. So you can kind of see where we're heading. All right? But here's how we're going to get there. We're going to go outside. Now, I'm going to break this into 2 drills, and then we're going to bring those 2 drills together. Here's part 1. We're going just thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle. Notice which strings, and make sure that the correct finger is on the correct string. Thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle. Good. Okay, now we're going to do part 2, which is the inside pair of strings. All right? So we're going thumb, index, or it's easier to just say thumb 1 for first finger. Thumb 1, thumb 1, thumb 1, thumb 1. Something to notice here. There's a little bit of separation. There's a little bit of space between these. Otherwise, you get this. The thumb and the first finger collide. You don't want that. So all you need is just a tiny separation. You can feel your way through that. It doesn't have to look just like what I'm doing. Just don't let the thumb and the finger crash into each other. So you're going thumb 1, thumb 1, thumb 1, thumb 1. And once you've practiced this, what we're doing is breaking this down into the smallest little bits, because what we're after is called muscle memory, where it's not only your brain that knows what to do, your fingers know what to do, right? I mean, this is how you learn to walk. This is how you learn to drive. muscle memory kicks in, and what used to be hard becomes easy. It works for guitar too. So now, when you're comfortable with these two parts, here's part one. And then shift over and practice part two. And then when you put it together, you'll be doing some lovely Travis picking. Much sooner than most beginners do. And it's lovely. You'll get a lot of mileage out of this. So if your goal is to enjoy guitar in the new year, this is a great way for you to get started off on it. So let's put it together. Let's put it together. I'm going to do this. Outside, inside, outside, inside. And I'm talking, of course, about the outside pair of strings that we were working on, that little micro drill. Inside is here, the second micro drill. Now when we put those things together, you're doing Travis picking. Experiment with the tempo. You want it to be nice and steady, like 1 and 2 and that kind of thing. Or you can say outside, inside. Use whatever works. You just want a nice, steady pace that's even. So, good luck with that. Keep after it. Your fingers will look like mine. Aren't you lucky? This does not hurt me. I've been doing this a long time. It looks a little gnarly, but it doesn't hurt. Now yours will probably hurt. Unless you're already a guitar player, you're going to have a little ouchiness. But so what? Get going with it. We're at the start of a new year. You can be over that really fast. If you put in like 10 or 15 minutes a day of practice, you can even split that up. You don't have to sit down and do it all at once, but do it regularly. Get off to a good start in the new year, and it'll pay off for you. I'm going to just play this again so you can remember where we're headed, right? Just to give you an idea of what you'll be able to do pretty soon if you put in a little bit of regular practice. Okay? Go on and have fun with this. And if you've liked this, like, subscribe, you know all the drill, you know. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications, whatever you feel like doing to kick off your journey into guitar. I hope this works well for you. Comment below. Let me know what you think of this, if it's helpful to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Have a very nice new year. I hope it's a good one for all of us. And take care. Thank you.